Hi, I'm Moanani. I'll be one of your school tour guides.
Hi, I'm Yara Kumeho, and I'm going to be your school tour guide.
Hi, I'm Noah Babaki. I'll be your school tour guide.
Hi, I'm Yulesh. I'll be one of your school tour guides.
Hi, I'm Dale Shulu, and I'll be one of your school tour guides.
Hi, I'm Susie Irani. I'll be one of your school tour guides.
Welcome. This is Riverside Middle School.
R M S.
If your parents want to pick you up early from school, then they have to buzz in. All they have to do is press this button and smile. The doors will soon unlock. Hi, can you please open the doors for us? Okay, thank you. See?
To the office. Oh, Mr. Galletti. Let's go talk. Hi, Mr. Galletti.
Hi, what can I do for you guys?
You give any advice for fifth graders?
Yeah, fifth graders, incoming fifth grader, new kids.
Yeah, the very new ones.
Oh yeah, hey, one biggest thing is don't be worried about the eighth graders. They're carrying on with what they do, and you guys will be on your, it'll be fine. They're much bigger than you are, but they're not going to bother you. Hey, you guys want to come back and talk? We'll talk about this in the office.
Yeah.
What else you want to talk about?
Well, how are the principals different from the principals here and the principals at the elementary schools?
Well, it's a little different here because what we have here is I'm the principal, Mrs. Abajama is the assistant principal, and we have Mr. Marshall, who is the dean of students. And so we break up what our duties are here. Where at the elementary, you have one principal. They have to do it all on all different levels. So we, here, if something, say you do something inappropriate, it usually doesn't come to me at all being the principal. You either go, the fifth graders go to Mrs. Abajama, or if you're sixth, seventh, or eighth grade, you go to Mr. Marshall, so we handle that. I deal with primarily all the running of the whole building, so I don't deal much with the discipline part.
Well, that's nice to know. Now let's go talk to Miss Abajama. Hi, Miss Abajama.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. What's going on today?
Nothing, we're just making a video for the little fifth graders.
Oh, that's great. Love the fifth graders.
Do you mind telling them how to pronounce your name?
My name, yeah. See, let's help, right? So my name is Mrs. Abo Jam Ruff. Mrs. Abo Jam Ruff. Let's try it again. So the way I teach it is Mrs. Abo Jam Ruff. So just like at the game, Mrs. Abo Jam Ruff, the assistant principal, the office you never want to be in.
Do you have any advice for the fifth graders?
I do. Come in, do your best. Your number one job is to be a student, come to school, do your very best, and that's all we ask, and behave.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Somebody once told me the world is gone.
Now since we got Miss Abajama, let's go meet Mr. Marshall. Hi, Mr. Marshall.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
We're fine. We were just wondering if you have any words to say for the incoming fifth graders.
For the incoming fifth graders, I say two things. One, it's going to be a little bit different. You got to remember to wear your lanyard. And number two, if you're having problems with anything in the school, remember to talk to an adult. Talk to your teacher or your counselor or someone in the office about what your problems are, and we'll help you resolve them. Don't try to solve everything yourself.
What do you do here in Riverside?
I am in charge of discipline for the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, and I also supervise in the morning and in the afternoon, and I supervise the lunch.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
This is the library. Library hours are 7:30 a.m. to 3:15 p.m. Closed daily 11:30 to 1 o'clock. And here's Miss Boosie. Let's go check out what she's doing. Right now she's working with a student trying to check out a book.
Do you have a student ID?
Yeah, can you do it?
How are you guys doing today?
Good. So what do you do here in the library?
Well, I help students check out books and look for materials for reports. We also do AR testing on the computer, help type up reports. Lots of things going on in the library.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is the auditorium.
do over here is movie night, assemblies, band concerts, and talent shows.
This is your rotation hallway. In this hallway, you'll find the band room, the art room, the health room, the computer room, the wood shop room, and you'll also find the ISS room. All the way down the hallway, you'll find the gym side.
This is the courtyard. You could come out here, eat lunch, and do other fun activities with Mr. Marshall's permission.
This is Mrs. Lane's room. This is Mrs. Martin's room. This is Mrs. Brighton's room. This is Mrs. Atkins' room. This is Mrs. Bean's room. This is Mrs. McMaster's room. This is Mrs. Kristen Engel and Mrs. Ukrainik's room. This is Mrs. DeSantis' room. This is Mrs. Green's room. This is Mrs. Baydoun's and Mrs. Jawad's room. This is Mrs. Goodison's room. This is Mrs. Grimma's room. This is Mrs. Harps and Mrs. Troshin's room.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Atkins. I'm one of the 5th grade teachers. I teach with Mrs. Martin, math and science.
My favorite subject in 5th grade is math.
Hi, I'm in 5th grade and my favorite subject is science.
I need you, boo. I gotta see you, boo. And the hearts all over the world tonight. Said the hearts all over the world tonight. I need you, boo. Oh, I gotta see you, boo. And the